Peace and love, my friends. Thanks for being here live this morning and watching by recording. It is the cutest anxiety monster in the thumbnail. It's so cute. That's true. Kristen, I thought so. Lynn, hey, Vasilia. Welcome, everybody. Thanks for being here live. So, I'm Peter Panagore. This is Monday Morning Meditation. Welcome if you're watching by recording. So many people have been coming to me recently about anxiety. Anxiety is a monster. It's Halloween, so it's kind of appropriate. It's almost Halloween. Anxiety is a monster that can control, that does, when it's here, it does control our minds, emotions, and psychological well being. So, what are the 9 symptoms and what's the cure? The 9 symptoms: one, an overactive fear center. The amygdala, which processes fear, becomes hyperactive, making us feel constantly on edge or worried, even about minor things. And so there can be this baseline anxiety, and then this minor thing comes in and it makes it 10 times worse. Two, stress hormones. Can't really do much about the stress hormones. Anxiety causes the continuous release of these hormones like cortisol, which keep the body and the mind in this flight or freeze or fight, heightened state of tension. It's a chemical reaction. Three, impaired thinking. The part of the brain that's responsible for logic, prefrontal cortex, and decision making becomes less effective, making it harder to focus or make clear decisions. Four, negative thought loops. You may be stuck in worrying cycles, rumination, or imagining worst case scenarios. And we're going to come back to this one in a moment because this is where the cure lies. Five, memory problems. Chronic anxiety affects memory, making learning new information harder and recalling information more difficult. And why? Maybe because the mind is preoccupied, distracted. It's always got something else going on there that kind of gets in the way of the memorization aspect of ourselves. Six, sensitivity and irritability. Anxiety makes us more sensitive to noises. Stress leads to awkward social situations, irritability, restlessness, being on edge. Seven, and this is a biggie because this impacts, brain focus and memory capacity and all these other things, sleep issues. The anxiety often disrupts our sleep patterns. You wake up in the middle of the night and your mind starts running and you can't stop it. Pretty soon you can't fall asleep again, and it leads to insomnia, chronic insomnia, restless nights, and which of course worsens clarity and during the day because research shows that even losing an hour or two of sleep a night, just an hour or two, can noticeably impact mental clarity, cognitive function, and it significantly affects concentration, decision making, and overall performance. It is a massive thing, loss of sleep. So even if you experience this loss of sleep for a single night, but imagine night after night after night, it just the whole system starts to function less effectively, especially the brain. Eight, emotional fatigue. Overall, anxiety can lead to this emotional exhaustion, and which results from this feeling of disconnection. And I'm not talking about non-attachment here. Talking about disconnection from one's own emotional state, from joy and satisfaction, and from the emotional states of the people around you, because you're just kind of worn out. Nine, brain fog. Many people with anxiety experience this brain fog, this mental confusion, this difficulty focusing, the preoccupied and exhausted mind. And maybe this comes from the lack of sleep. I'm not sure how all of these interplay, but the loss of sleep is a big deal. It impacts so much. In short, prolonged anxiety, it affects the mind's ability to think clearly, regulate emotions, and find peace. However, mindfulness, meditation, and relaxation techniques that we talk about here all the time and we practice here, they can help restore balance in the short term, and that's important to know because this is like an immediate sort of thing, and in the long term, balance. In that long anxiety list, those nine, the single area over which we can assert control, I can't assert control so much over pretty much any other area in my life unless I'm able to assert control over number four, which is the negative thought loops, the rumination. And so we're talking about this again today because so many people have been coming to me with debilitating anxiety. The scientific research, and I'm going to lean into science today, scientific research highlights the importance of meditation over the long term to gain lasting and maximum psychological, emotional, mental, and spiritual benefits. Because they're not measuring the spiritual ones, but they are measuring the other ones. Meditation is proven to lower stress, anxiety, and depression. And these benefits, they grow stronger the longer we practice. A major review published in the Journal of the American Medical Association shows that meditation programs lasting several months, and some of you know this yourselves because you began meditating with me, significantly reduces anxiety, depression, and even physical pain. But in particular, we're talking about anxiety today. And in another influential study, researchers like Davidson et al. In 2003 found that the regular meditation practice over several weeks leads to lasting changes in the brain. We've talked about this, particularly in areas that help control focus and emotional control. Long-term meditators have shown improved brain flexibility and better concentration compared to beginners. And in addition, of course, the spiritual benefits we've talked about 1,000 times are astounding. To stop the rumination, one has to stop the thought. And we're going to come to that in a sec. The take home message, before we even get to that, is that if you want meditation's full benefits, a calmer mind, sharper focus, management of the debilitating anxiety, it takes commitment to a regular meditation practice time and to do it over time regularly. And it's really pretty simple. And if you're interested in the science, I've provided links in the description so you can check it out for yourself. So, how do we work this? How do we stop these thought loops, these negative thought loops? It's really simple. It's meditation. You use your mental focus and your breath. And your mental focus is either through a chant, a prayer, or imagining an object and linking it to your breath practice and then repeating it over and over and over again. And what it does is it gives you the power to control your mind. So by learning to focus on this one single spot stops the rumination. I've talked about this 1,000 times. People keep coming to me and asking similar questions about their debilitating anxiety. How do I stop this thing? How do I stop my running mind? Meditation really totally freaking works. And it happens in the short term, as the Davis study showed, in the short term. And in the long run, it really does reduce stress. And when the mind wanders, you just return to your prayer, just return to your practice, just return to your breath again and again and again. The single-minded focus stops the rumination. You can't run around. Thomas Keating used to talk about how sometimes people would, in their meditation life, they would get a thought and then they try to shut that thought down. And as soon as they try to shut that thought down, another window of a thought opens up and they run to shut that one down. And then the door pops open and they run to shut the door. And then you can't run around trying to shut off all these thoughts. It doesn't work that way. It works by staying in the center of your mind with breath and mental practice. And the best thing is that the plasticity of the mind changes as the practice continues. So it gets easier because you've rerouted your thinking and you've grabbed control and you can quiet your mind and it can bring sleep it can stop your mind from running in the middle of the night. And if you can control your sleep, um, then you're more prepared for the day. Anyway, I hope that helps everybody. One of those quizzes you don't want to ace. Aced at 9 for 9. Oh, ouch. Yeah, ouch. Um, well, thanks, Trusto. I'll preach old wise one. Thanks. I guess I am getting up there in age for sure. But, I get to get out of here. I get to get out of here at some point. I reach out. Hey, evaluate over there, Anna and Ireland. Thanks for being here. All right. So hopefully that was helpful to you. Let's get to some practice here. Make sure that my alarm is set. So, and it goes off so loud. I try to turn it down. I've tried to turn it down all the time, but it seems not to want to be quiet. And I'm not sure why that is. Let's see if I can. I'll try it again. I'll turn it way down. I'll see what happens. All right. So, if you're just joining us today, meditation is super simple. It just takes dedication and practice, and that's the hard part. You pick a word. Could be a number, could be a color, could be an idea, could be, I use the Jesus prayer, it could be Om, and you repeat it over and over again, or an image. Pick an object and stay with the same one. Switching around is less helpful. Stay with the same one. Ride your thought on your breath up and down and fill your belly. Pause at the bottom of your breath. Exhale out your nose. Pause at the top of your breath, and just keep repeating it again and again. And if your mind wanders, come back to your breath, come back to your prayer. And if you're bored, it's because you're actually not meditating. So keep at it, my friends. And you can learn to manage your anxiety. All right. I keep wanting to pull out my mask to cover my eyes so that I can meditate better, but I keep forgetting to get it ahead of time. Sorry. Got my feet flat on the floor. I'm going to push back a little bit. Hands are in this mula here. Fingers overlapping, thumbs touching on my lap. You can do it any way you want. I like this form. And my belly slowing down. Expanding my belly fully. Letting my lungs fill naturally. Pause. Slow controlled exhale. Mind goes to the prayer, to the chant, to the image. Plugging with your breath. Repeat. Regular practice makes a difference.
Peace and love, everyone. Thanks for being here. I trust it one-on-one. Divine serendipity. Thank you, everyone. I hope your hearts are peaceful today. Calm and your anxiety is reduced. And you have less stress. Sleep well tonight. Peace and love. Peter. That's me.